Welcome to this week's episode of Coffee with the Journalist, brought to you by One Pitch. The guests on our show include some of the most notable journalists from the top US-based publications who cover topics including technology, lifestyle and culture, health, science, consumer products, and business news. We discuss their role, the types of stories they cover, what their inbox looks like, and how they connect with sources. Joining us on the show today is Manasa Gogineni, a reporter for VentureBeat. Manasa covers funding announcements and news for enterprise tech companies. She started at VentureBeat as an editorial intern in September of 2020, and she's also currently a senior Regents Scholar at UC Davis, writing an honors thesis while also directing the Davis Political Review. During the episode, Manasa starts off by sharing how she flags sources that land in her inbox, why she prefers personalized pitches that are timely and comprehensive, where you can pitch her besides email, and more. Let's hear from her now.
Welcome, everyone. This is Coffee with a Journalist. You know what this show is about. I would hope so by this point. You've been listening to a lot of journalists, but this is a show dedicated to knowing what media want and what they deal with on the PR perspective. I'm Beck Bamberger, and I run BAM, which is an agency that works with all venture-backed crazy technology companies that are growing rapidly. And then also One Pitch, of course, which is the producer of the show. And today we actually have a coffee drinker on. I'm so excited. She's a reporter from VentureBeat. Manasa Gogineni is here with us, and we're just happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so what are you drinking?
Yeah, so this is going to sound really gross, but I'm drinking instant coffee. So
wow, I have not heard that in I don't know how long.
I don't know if this ruins like my journalist street cred, but I have like no standards when it comes to coffee. So
wow. That's the opposite for me. I'm like, wait, what coffee shop am I going to? If I go to a new place, is it walking distance? Okay, where did they get the beans from? I'm a total snob. Oh my gosh. But you know what? Hey, how much coffee do you drink a day? It's late in the afternoon right now.
Ooh, okay. It depends. Honestly, I want to say like 2 cups a day, so like nothing too crazy, but I feel like it's like a bottomless pit for me where like I can have a lot of coffee and feel nothing. So
really?
Yeah.
What brand are you drinking? Can you say, do you have a brand of instant that you love?
Oh, I don't even know. I like put it in like a different jar.
Oh,
but
okay. So you don't even have a brand. You're just, hey,
yeah.
just coffee. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like picky when I go to coffee shops though, like not with the beans or with like the type of coffee, but at home I'm like just no standards, like just drink whatever.
Wow. Quite the variance. You're the first I've talked to who can go from instant to then, picky at the actual coffee shop. Wow. Well, let's talk about your inbox. First of all, as we heard, you cover funding, you cover announcements, enterprise tech, all this stuff for VentureBeat. What does your inbox look like in terms of pitches?
Yeah, it's kind of a mess. I just have a lot of them. And yeah, I get a lot of emails.
Yes. And how do you sort through them?
It kind of varies, honestly. So I do like star things that are interesting. I'll like star them, or a yellow star and a red star.
What's the yellow star for versus the red star? How crazy is it in there?
Very crazy, but it's like a good kind of chaos. A lot of interesting pitches, a lot of emails, a lot going on there.
And you were telling me earlier when we were chatting, you got a star system happening for this to keep it sane? Tell us about the star system. I've never heard of this before, and I love it.
I don't know how well it works. I'm kind of testing it out, but it's serving well so far. So I have 2 stars, yellow and red.
Okay.
So yellow I use for pretty much everything. Like it's just my general, this is interesting, or this is important, or I want to make sure I don't lose this email for whatever reason. That could be like an interesting pitch, or like maybe I need to like remember someone's like contact info, etc. And then my red star is, okay, I have to do like an action for this item. For example, yesterday I had a really great time interviewing Lindsay Shepard from Moslab. And so I wanted to send some questions before, but I couldn't do them when I was really busy earlier. So I did like a red star to take care of it later.
Got it. Okay. And then I'm assuming there's poor emails that never get a star and they just go away, or what do you do with those?
Yeah, a star is really special, honestly. Not
Star is special.
not
Get
special.
the star. I love it.
But yeah, a lot of them miss the star when they should get one. Or actually, sorry, let me backtrack. I think a lot of them just don't really get a lot of attention because there's so many of them. So yeah, a lot of them don't get their star.
Okay. And so those just go away.
Yeah, they're just lost
Okay.
forever.
They're just there. They're just lost
Yeah.
forever. All right. So as you're thinking about stories that you want to pursue, and I think you mentioned earlier when we were talking before, you get maybe 20-ish pitches a day or something. So like you're getting a lot of pitches. How many of those convert to actual stories?
I think it really depends on things like my workload and like also
Mm-hmm.
the kind of time required for a story. Some pitches are very comprehensive in that there's a very clear story and it's very timely and it's important and it's interesting, all those good things. And then some pitches are just not really going to do anything, like they don't really have any purpose. And in the middle, there's some that are like, they have something that's important or interesting, but not everything I need for a story. And so I would say on average, maybe honestly, I'd say like 1 in 50 pitches if they're like the personalized ones.
Oof, yeah, it's a low ratio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So not a high conversion on that. But then I must ask, like for the story you were doing, and I know you're doing the newsletter for VentureBeat on the daily, so that's consuming a lot of your time.
Oh, yeah.
But a story you did in February early this year, you were saying, oh, this is an enterprise. You were talking about a conversational AI. It connects to customers in this cool way. How'd you get that story idea? Are you like on a walk? Are you on are you taking a shower? Are you doing like, just where's the inspiration for stories come?
Yeah. So I think as far as inspiration goes, reading the news like doesn't really like directly inspire me, but it just kind of gives me better sense like what's going on. And it kind of informs me about what I might care about in terms of the overall landscape, but definitely like going on walks. I go on a lot of walks these days.
Me too. I hear you. Aren't they great though? It's kind of
Oh,
nice.
they're so nice. Yeah.
We're both in California. Like you can do it year round.
Yeah, exactly. So like take a notebook with me and then I'll jot down some thoughts. They usually aren't that great, but it helps. And so I think it's a combination of that and then also talking to other writers and then also just still like going through my inbox and like maybe having my interest sparked by like a different pitch or founder, or some interesting detail of a story.
Okay. I think the key element out of this just little part of the conversation is simply you have a low entry to, or a low chance, I should say, of a conversion. So people need to really personalize and know what the heck you are doing in writing in order to break through and get the star. Get the star.
Today's interview will continue after this brief message brought to you by OnePitch. Are you curious to see the unique ways OnePitch helps PR professionals and marketers pitch journalists? Head to onepitch.co to learn about our new OnePitch score and see how easy it is to find the right journalist to pitch your news to. Sign up for your free account today. Now, back to today's episode.
Well, we have a fill in the blank little section here, and let me tee up the phrase and you could fill in the word. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. My favorite sources always.
Always follow up one time if I don't reply.
Okay. The most annoying sources always.
Leave me voicemails.
Who the hell is calling your... What? Who are these people? I'm very surprised these days that there's even voicemails to... Where do people find them? I don't know. Like your number. Like your cell number?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, to be fair, I kind of messed up where when I first started working as a journalist, I had my number in my email signature.
Oh, there you go.
So that's where I went wrong. Yeah.
There you go.
Don't do that.
Now you know. Don't do that. Don't call her. I think that's the other takeaway here. Wow. I'm still the goal to pick. Okay. Wow. It would be a huge help if you
personalize the pitch.
Yes. Always. The best compliment I received about my work was?
It is incisive.
Nice. My favorite stories to write about are?
Involving people and technology.
Those are the best ones. I would agree. One thing I think people should know about me is?
I want to write honest stories.
Ooh, expand on that. Honest stories. Tell us a little bit more. You don't want to write a story that's like the first ever most awesome AI is da, da, da.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And like, I mean, I'm speaking for most journalists when I say I want to write honestly. I think every journalist does, but I think often people, like whether they're PR teams or even like individuals or anyone, I think they often expect things to be kind of like a publicity move for them when you're covering them. But my goal is always to actually represent things accurately and like not really distort what's actually going on. And so I try my best to be honest and not over or underpraise what's actually going on.
Mm-hmm. Quarantine has taught me
that I am more extrovert than I thought I am.
Did you mostly identify as an introvert, by the way?
It's complicated. I feel like I was really extrovert as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm an introvert. Yeah.
But maybe with just a dash of extroversion, perhaps.
Yeah. I love like groups of people, but I need like a lot of alone time. Like I need a lot of alone time to feel good.
That's a classic introvert. Yes.
Yeah.
The one piece of advice I have for aspiring journalists is
take the stories that you feel the most afraid of.
Oh, I love that. Do you have an example of that yourself? One that you did that you were like, ooh, tell us.
I feel like when I first started at VentureBeat, I would be afraid of taking anything that wasn't a really straightforward press release because I was always worried that I would, like young journalists, confused, want to like not do anything wrong. But I learned the most when the stories were the most challenging or the most out of my realm of experience and knowledge. So I would say the most ambiguous ones, the ones that are the most complicated, the ones in which you aren't really sure who's telling the truth. You have to like fact check. So just anything that's like hard when possible to go for it.
My perfect Sunday is
sleeping in and then hiking.
Ooh, and where do you like to hike? You were saying the Stanford Dish?
Yeah, that's a good spot. I try to try out new trails too, but that's definitely a favorite.
I love that dish. I haven't been in so long though. Oh my gosh. But it's, if I recall, there wasn't a lot of shade on that one. Like you could be really, it's like exposed. Am I right?
Oh yeah. I get like so sweaty and gross every time.
Yeah. It's a good, like if you want to sweat in the sun, you go to the dish.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh, and then the last one for you here is the best thing I last ate or cooked.
I was like just eating these really good cookies from Trader Joe's or like the chocolate chip dunkers. So those ones.
Trader Joe's. I feel like they are the unsung brand of snacks. Am I the only one who's believing of this?
No, they're amazing. They
really are.
Amazing.
I hope Trader Joe's hears us. Some comms person is listening to this so we can get sponsored and get snacks from Trader Joe's. I would love that.
Yes, PSA, I will be an influencer for Trader Joe's. I am very available.
Reach out, but don't call her. Yes. Okay, Manasa, what are you reading or listening to, or we'll take Netflixing, and basically anything that you're enjoying. That's a story.
So my current go-to book is Writers and Lovers by Lily King. Just started it, but the prose is really delightful. It's a good read for this weird pandemic time when it's kind of bittersweet, I guess. And then I'm also, before bed, I'll leaf through 1,000 Places to See Before You Die, which is really great.
I love those.
I'm dreaming of the post-pandemic world already.
That I feel is should be on gift guides this year.
Honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be a great one. Oh yeah. For your travel lust person and basically anyone who wants to go anywhere. Yes. I wonder if their sales are ticking up. That'd be another interesting story to do. Well, thank you for sharing those. I like it. Okay. Actually, before we get to the future of journalism, we do have an audience ask. Here we go. Oh. Whitney Wells is asking, how do you feel about engaging with PR folks on Twitter or other social channels? Have you had success with this from a sourcing or pitching perspective before? What would you say?
Yeah, honestly, what happens a lot with my inbox is that I try my best to go through things, but I think as a lot of journalists, I'm just very stretched for time. Even though I'm not super active on Twitter, it does catch my attention. I will see it pretty soon after. So I'm pretty open to Twitter DMs. I've had some really great PR people reach out in there and then also follow up with an email in that way. I can make sure I don't miss like any interesting pitches. But social media is up for grabs. Like I'm super okay with that.
Okay. I think the bell is loud and clear on that, social media. Now, can we clarify a little bit more on that? Because I know some people are like, never, ever find me and DM me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Never do not send me the in-mail on LinkedIn. Do not,
my gosh.
Do you have
Yes.
any specifics more for that?
Wait, I have so many specifics about this because I think like,
okay. See, I'm glad I asked more.
Yeah. And also like, I'm like a very particular person. So like a lot of people aren't as like weird as I am. Twitter, pretty much fine. I don't really have any like concerns about Twitter. I feel like it's usually pretty manageable. LinkedIn, however, I get a lot of pitches on LinkedIn and they're mostly fine.
Really?
A lot of LinkedIn pitches.
What?
And honestly, I feel like it's easier to just get them by email. And like, I'm not even that active on LinkedIn. And Instagram, I actually just reactivated my account, so I haven't received anything, but I don't think I will receive anything.
You're clear for now. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, I don't think probably won't change. I think where I draw the line is like, I don't like when people search up my information. Like there's a difference between like Twitter and then finding like my school email to email me or like down to voicemails. Yeah. And I don't know. It's just, then it feels a little bit too much, but yeah.
Interesting. Okay. LinkedIn pitching, no. School email, no. Do not do Instagram. There's a lot of things going on here with this. So, okay, now we know the rules for social media stuff. But would you have to say inbox email to your correct email, by the way, is still the way to go?
Yeah, I think inbox. Yeah. And then, inbox is good.
Inbox it is. Now we will get to future of journalism. So this is an interesting thing because you are telling me that you are graduating now.
Yeah. Next
Amazing.
week.
From Davis next week when we're recording this, which is by the way in early June. So just for people who hear it much later, but yes, congratulations. First off,
thank you.
I would assume you have a positive outlook on the future of journalism because why would you then want to graduate from it? Right. So this isn't a thing of like, well, 12 years ago, 20 years ago, I thought maybe. So tell us why, what do you think of the future of journalism? And also why are you in journalism?
So first question, I have high hopes for it. I think a lot of things are changing in how full journalism is, how fast it is, how much it can change the kinds of stories we tell. Mm-hmm. I think that for a long time, like if I had to, I guess like write like a broad sweeping narrative of history, you could say that people in power always get to tell the stories, but now with journalism, it's like, it's just easier for people to like make a Substack or pitch like freelance articles or not really have to be like a full-time like writer on like one of like a set few number of newspapers. So I feel like it's just more fair overall. And like, we just get to know more about current events in a way that's more equitable. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that made sense, but I just think we're on like a good path. And I think that there's more openness in the space where you don't have to be super experienced. You don't have to have like a certain credential. If you have something worthwhile to say, I think that it's slightly easier than it used to be to get the attention that you need for it.
Did you know that you wanted to go into journalism years and years ago or freshman year? Or was there a moment that struck you?
Honestly, I kind of like wandered into journalism. I think freshman year, like going into college, I did not think I was going to pursue journalism. But in my freshman year, I joined this political magazine and now I'm editor-in-chief, which is great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but when I joined, I was doing it on a whim because I like politics. And then as I got more into it, like the writing, the editing, like all of it, it just became so meaningful to me. I kind of like felt my way into it over a period of 3 years.
By the way, for anyone who's interested, it's the Davis Political Review.
Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you. Also, please read our most recent publication. It just went out last week.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we got to read VentureBeat and we got to read this. Yes. Are you particularly proud of this piece?
I really am. So we have like an annual issue and it like goes out in the presses. Like we have like copies all over campus. And so this year's is so beautiful. We have like most amazing designers. The focus is on human rights and public policy. So just highly recommend. Please read it.
Okay. I'm all on it. I'm on the website right now. Oh, I like the logo too.
Oh, thank you.
DPR, our campus, our conversation. How nice. Okay. Well, we've made it to our very end, which is our Mad Libs part. And as I was telling you earlier, we just play it. We just see what happens. Sometimes it's silly. Sometimes it's accurate. Who knows what we're going to get? That's the fun of it. So with your permission, I will tee us up. Are you ready, Manasa?
Yes.
Let's do it. Here we go. First word, emotion.
Happy.
Next word, adjective.
Fun.
Fun. Okay.
Summer's on my mind.
Oh, I love it. Let's keep going with that. Another adjective.
Exciting.
Exciting. A greeting of any kind.
Welcome.
Welcome. Okay. A verb.
Run.
That is the most cited verb, by the way, that I've
Really?
heard on this. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Run. I don't know. And a lot of people are like, I don't run. I don't like running. That's what comes out. Okay. Noun.
Cherry.
Cherry. An adjective.
Brown.
A cringeworthy PR term or phrase. Like
Innovative.
just following up. Oh, innovative. Okay. Innovative. Part of a pitch.
When they email you and all they say is interested, ? And that's it.
Interested ? And that's it. Really? That can't be the whole pitch. That's like the follow-up?
No, that's like the follow-up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, wait, I'm going to spell that out. Okay, follow-up. Just so we're very accurate. Follow-up is, okay.
And usually it's like the third or fourth follow-up. But
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
That's horrible. A length of time.
A week.
A week. A name of a real person, preferably alive.
Biden.
Yes. And then an emotion.
Disgust.
Disgust. I love it. Okay, here it is from the top. When I think of the future of journalism, I feel happy. The pitches I receive have gone from fun to exciting. If I receive a pitch that starts with welcome, I run. When I write stories on cherries, I get brown. My favorite pitches include innovation and very specific follow-ups that say interested with one ? And that's it. I normally take about a week to respond to my emails, but if it's Joe Biden, I will respond immediately. If you do get a response back from me, you should know that I'm very disgusted for you.
The last one's so funny.
I love it. This is a good one. I give it like 7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10. This is great.
Good.
Well, thank you for joining us today and telling us about, first off, the Davis Political Review, which I now have to read quite extensively. Congrats on graduating.
Thank you.
Congrats on being a journalist, fighting the fight. We need more of you. And I'm proud we got to chat.
Thank you for having me back.
This has been so lovely. And don't call her cell phone. Everybody, please, no.
The issue comes up when, okay, this sounds like a joke, but when I've already said no to someone over email twice and then they keep leaving me voicemails. I think that's like the bad voicemail.
That's rude.
Yeah. And it was on like a Friday night too. So I was kind of offended. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. To be fair, I do have my Signal in my email signature. So if someone gives me a call and we're already in contact, then that's
fair.
It.
Fair game if it's Signal.
Unsolicited late night voicemails. That's my rule.
No, absolutely not. There, that ends it right there. That we got to end with that. Thank you so much for joining Coffee with a Journalist, everybody. We'll hear you next time. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Coffee with a Journalist featuring Manasa Gogineni from VentureBeat. If you enjoy listening to our show, make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. And if you have a moment, please leave us a review to share your thoughts about the show and today's guest. To learn more about the latest tools on OnePitch and to subscribe to our weekly podcast newsletter, head to our website at onepitch.co. We'll see you all next week with a brand new guest and even more insights about the journalists you want to learn more about. Until then, start great stories.